Thank you. I too aren't a great public speaker, but I will try my best. And for those who don't know me, I'm Daz, the best man. And can I just start by saying that it's taken 15 years, but Matt has finally admitted that I am the best. Right? I can't believe it's 15 years since I met Matt. Not much has changed, to be honest. It's just his trainers are a lot more expensive these days. And he pays for them. Matt was 15 when he knocked on my front door asking if he could have a job. I'll be honest, my first impression was scally. Crossed with M&M. In fact, according to Chris, he even dyed his hair bleach blonde so he could look even more like his idol. But I was desperate for help. I thought, what the hell, let's give him a chance. And to be fair, it was a good call. Well, that's all I'm going to say about that. He blows enough smoke up his own arse. Over the years, I've had to listen what most people would consider far-fetched and exaggerated versions of Matt's stories. But in the end, it always seems that they were actually true. Like when he came into work one day and told me that the previous night he was out in his mate's car when they came across a very well-dressed older gentleman in his best jacket and shirt just about to enter the working men's club for what you can only assume was a pleasant evening with friends. However, Matt had different ideas. You remember what he did, Matt?
Yeah.
Matt thought it would be funny if he pulled out his pre-purchased eggs and throw them at this finely dressed gentleman and scramble them on his chest. Nice work, man. I hope somebody gets you on the way out. Where was I? Or maybe the time I called around Matt's house to pick him up for work, and after a few minutes of waiting, somebody resembling Matt turned up at the van door. But instead of seeing his little cheeky face, I saw a face missing teeth, 2 black eyes, stitches, and could hardly speak other than to say it wasn't my fault. We were chased. And then there was a time he got chased down an alley and had his freshly replaced teeth knocked out again. But it wasn't his fault. Or maybe the time he got stabbed. But luckily it wasn't his fault. I'm pretty sure you're all seeing a pattern. In fact, even when he has a leak at work, it's never his fault. On the flip side to this, I think we can all agree that nobody needs to tell Matt that he's a great guy. Or a great plumber, in fact. A great son, a great son-in-law, brother, friend, and an amazing grandson. And the reason for that is he does it himself. Every day, several times in fact. This guy is not short of self-confidence. You know how I know? He tells me. Every Monday morning, the first thing I have to hear about is poker on the Sunday. Mal got lucky on the river. Big Al got pocket aces. Daz had the jammiest flush I've ever seen. There's always a sob story to why he lost. Somebody else's fault. Not that they played well, he just has no luck. A bit like when I smashed him at pool. I didn't play well, he was just unlucky. To be honest, in all my life, I don't think I've ever known anybody as lucky as him. He had all the jackpots, I've seen him drop. Let's just have a little look at his life. Lucky Matt Part 1. Meeting Laurie, who was not only good, with a great personality, He bagged her looking at and dressing how he does. Lucky Matt part 2, meeting a woman who will willingly sleep with you and doesn't leave pain at the end of it. Lucky Matt part 3. Matt goes on holiday to America. He ain't that bothered about doing all the sightseeing. What everybody else wants to do, Matt wants to go to the boozer. So he rocks up at Jimbo's in New Jersey and walks out with friends for life. And AJ, Doug, Julie and Steph have travelled across the pond to be with Matt and Laurie on their big day. And this is where we come to Carol and Steve, who've not only accepted Matt as one of their own, but they came home while you're at work and do your little chores. Yes, that's right. I've seen Steve painting Matt's house. I've seen Steve cutting his lawn. I've even heard Steve having a word with Laurie to cut Matt more slack.
Off the crack now.